I know what the question is going to be. Why did you put yourself through this movie? What did you expect? Maybe the more I think about it, with a lot of people, thank God, and I can see, why this movie is getting trashed on. I wanted to join in on the fun. A lot of people are tearing it apart, ripping it to shreds. And yeah, now I did not pay to see this movie, so you can, whatever you want to make of that. But Expendables 4, which we didn't need a fourth movie. The first movie is a solid film. I thought it was a really good throwback. I'm not saying it's perfect. It has issues. I mean, whether it be, the CGI blood and some shaky cam, but I thought it was really solid. The second film, has some good stuff in it. Like, it's cool to see Van Damme in there, and him being the villain. It was cool to see Arnold a little bit more, Bruce Willis a little bit more. Chuck Norris, even though, they gave him the Chuck Norris fact in the movie, it was still cool to see Chuck Norris in there. But with me, with the second film, I think it got a little bit too comedic, and it just really felt like, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Expendables 3 is awful. For me, the only highlights with that movie is that Mel Gibson has some moments to shine as the villain. It's cool to see Harrison Ford in there, share a little bit of screen time with Sly. But that's about it. I mean, that's all I can say about the third movie. The New Blood I didn't care for. Ronda Rousey's in that, and the other people are a bunch of no-names, and they were just bland. Antonio Banderas, I mean, technically, he can work in this type of movie, but the character that he plays is very annoying. Wesley Snipes, that's a name that makes sense, that belongs in this type of movie, but his character's given nothing to do. Kelsey Grammer, I don't know, I like Kelsey Grammer, but he didn't really fit in the movie, and it was way over long, and so much more. Trying so hard to, appeal to the Fast and Furious crowd. It felt very watered down, very safe. And Expendables 4, I mean, where do you start? I'm not going to get into the plot because honestly, I don't care. Which, people may argue, well, or make the point about, do you really go, into these movies for the plot? But, at least with the first movie, they had a mission, to overthrow this dictator. And you have a couple of villains in there, like Eric Roberts and Stone Cold Steve Austin, Gary Daniels. With the second film, at least you had Van Damme, Scott Adkins. Although you could argue there's not enough people, when you got to the second film, there's not a lot of, people on the bad guy team. You got Stallone, Statham, Jet Li, which he's barely in, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture, Terry Crews, Liam Hemsworth, which that's another issue with the second film. But you got nobody on the other, like the bad guy's side. It's very uneven. But here, like I said, I'm not going to get into the plot. I really don't care. But you do get some new faces with this movie here. And I'll talk more about that. I'm just going to be honest with you folks, I'm just going to hit the highlights. Well, I won't even call them highlights, but so there's going to be spoilers in here with this review rant. I'm going to hit the beats as far as like certain moments. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers or anything about the movie, I would say, skip this video here. Again, which thankfully a lot of people are tearing this apart. A lot of people are, ripping this film to shreds. And thank God. I mean, it gets a 5.1 in IMDb. You know, like I said, just... So, if I give away certain scenes, if I give away certain, moments, I don't care. Like I said, I would say go watch a better review. If you like the film, that's fine. I've had already one comment someone mentioned about, they like the film, and if you like the film, that's fine. More power to you. But this movie can suck my Expendables. Okay, so let's get right into the movie here, which the movie kicks off in Libya. We're introduced to our main villain of the film, Iku Owais, which I still haven't seen the Raid. I haven't seen the Raid, which I know, this guy is in those movies. So, again, I haven't seen the Raid Redemption, but we get a little bit of action at the beginning. He's the villain of the film. Then it goes to New Orleans, where we have Stallone, he's back. Jason Statham, he's back. And, soon after that, we're introduced to Megan Fox. And right off the bat with Megan Fox, what do we have? We have her bitching at Statham and Stallone. For what reason, I don't know and don't care. But apparently she's part of the group. For how long she's been part of the group, who knows? But Megan Fox here is a team member. And right off the bat, she is bitching to Statham and Stallone. And then Stallone mentions about, I lost my ring in this bar. And so, Statham and Stallone, they go to the bar to get the ring back. And, Stallone is explaining to, Jason Statham kind of what happened. And then it pans over to behind the bar. The ring that Stallone has, the Expendables ring. You know where it's on? His Expendables ring is on a dildo, but not just a dildo, a double penetration dildo. So he looks behind the bar, like it pans over to behind the bar. And you see his Expendables ring on a double penetration dildo. Yeah, because, that's what I wanted to see in an Expendables movie. Is Barney's ring on a DP dildo. And then you get into a bar fight. There's a little bit of a bar fight. Very jittery the way it's shot. And not too long after that, we see the group. Dolph Lundgren's wearing a horrible wig, which they mention it in the movie, that he has some kind of wig. And then we're introduced to the son of Antonio Banderas from the third movie. This guy, I don't know who he is, but he's a wannabe Antonio Banderas. He is a no-name that is doing his best Banderas impression. I call him Dollar Tree Banderas, because that's what he is. He is the son of that character, from the third movie, Galgo Jr. So you have him in here. You have 50 Cent, which, to be honest with you, I think his Expendables name should have been Mumbles, because he is mumbling away here. That is his performance. I think his character's name is Easy Way or Easy Peasy, whatever Easy. I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, 50 Cent, he's mumbling away here. Randy Couture, they even do the same thing here in the first movie where Randy Couture explains his cauliflower ear. Because 50 Cent asks, what's up with your ear? Randy Couture is explaining the same shtick, the same story, as he's walking off camera. And 50 Cent is just giving him this dead look. So that was a weird scene. Randy Couture repeating that same story, and he's explaining it while walking off camera, and 50 Cent is just, staring at him with a very... 50 Cent can't act. 50 Cent has no range. It's... His range is worth 25 cents. And the other 25 is mumbling. So 25-cent range, 25-cent mumbling. 50 Cent. There you go. So, soon after, we have Andy Garcia in the film. His character, giving intel to the group. He plays the character of Marsh. And then we get to the plane because, they're given this mission to find this guy, the villain of the film. On the plane there, Gago Jr. is talking about golden showers. For people that don't know what golden showers are, look them up. So yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. And in Expendables 3 is anecdotes about golden showers, or stories about, golden showers. But that's not the last of a golden shower that, we'll get here. That comes later. And then we get to like this warehouse where, you have a little bit of action with some vehicles, and you got 50 Cent on the 50 caliber. Stallone is in the air in the plane trying to provide backup. And long story short, Sly is shot down. And, the villain of the film, Iko Uwais, he has this powerful sniper rifle, which, Stallone's plane has already taken some damage. But, Iko Uwais has a sniper rifle and gives him, like, the final shot that shoots down the plane. And then Stallone crashes the plane, and everybody believes that Barney is dead. We even see his charred body in the pilot's seat, with his hat and his hand like this, like his burnt hand, like a skeletal, like a charred skeleton. And you see his ring, so you do see a body. You see a very charred body, but it's there. You see the hand, you see the ring. So that's after, again, that's when Stallone is shot down. He crashes the plane. Everybody sees the plane. They see the body. And then it cuts right to a bar scene where Randy Couture is giving a speech. You hear a very bad cover of Don't Fear the Reaper. And I'm like, what? What is this? And then, long story short, again, Megan Fox, replaces Stallone. She takes over the group. Jason Statham is out. And then Jason Statham is looking for a new job. So he hits the ads in the paper. I am not joking. We've come to this point in the franchise where, Statham is not part of the group anymore. So what does he do? He looks into the newspaper at the, ads for jobs. And then he gets hired as a bodyguard to a social media, I can't even say the word right, social media influencer. There's a scene in this movie where Statham is doing bodyguard work for a social media influencer. And then he the guy is giving Statham crap. He knocks him out, which, thank God. But, so like I said, going back to Megan Fox, she's taken over the group. And now they're on the mission to stop our villain. Statham is, he wants to, find Megan Fox and get back up with the group. And along the way to their mission, that's when Statham picks up Tony Jaa. And Tony Jaa is given nothing to do here. Tony Jaa is just wasted. And I'll get more into that here. But, with the third act of the film, it starts at the 45-minute mark. This movie here is an hour and a half. And by the 45-minute mark, we're already, at the third act on this big ship. And that's when, Megan Fox and the rest of the team, they make it to the ship. And Megan Fox is like, okay, we got to do this, we got to do, we got to do that. And very quickly, their group is captured. Megan Fox, who is taken over, and they go aboard the ship. Immediately, they are captured. Way to go, Fox. Way to go. You have taken over the group. Everybody believes that, Stallone is dead. You don't have Statham. Now, you have this new chick in the group. I don't know who this chick is. You got Dolph with the bad wig, Randy Couture, no Terry Crews. You got Gago Jr. And, this is what happens when you allow Megan Fox, to take over the group and they get captured in 5 minutes. I laughed a little bit. I snickered when their team got captured. Because it sounds exactly what it would happen if Megan Fox took over the group. It's like they have learned nothing. If you look back, no matter what I feel about the second film or the third film, you had Stallone lead the group. It's like, they had a strategy. They were a unit, which, by the third film, Stallone gave up his unit, and that's another thing about the third film that sucks. But Stallone's character was a leader. Megan Fox gets them captured in 5 minutes. But, so they're on the ship, and there's a scene, I kid you not. It's a random scene. They're in this room being held. Randy Couture is like, I gotta take a piss. And he takes a piss in front of everybody. And, yeah, just right there. In this one little room where everybody's contained, Randy Couture takes a piss. Can I take a piss on this movie? And now when Statham and Tony Jaa, they come aboard, there's a little bit of action. There's like bits of action there, where Statham is taking out people, a little bit of gunplay, a little bit of bike action, but it's very lame. It's just, there's nothing to it. Again, the third act, starts at the 45-minute mark, and while Statham comes aboard, he's, taking out some people left and right, and he gets some gunplay, a little bit of bike action, but it's very lame. And Andy Garcia, which I forgot to mention, Andy Garcia is with the group, Megan Fox's group. He's supposed to be the intel, but he's there. And then, you cut to the final fight between Statham and the main villain of the film, Iko Uwais, and it's very short. And then you come to find out, no surprise here, Andy Garcia is a villain. And again, this is part of the spoilers, so if you didn't want to hear that, too bad. You've already gotten it. So they kill Iko Uwais, and you're back to, on top of the ship. Andy Garcia wants to fight Statham. And I'm like, I don't buy this for a second. Do you really believe that Andy Garcia could take Jason Statham? Maybe if it was, Andy Garcia from The Untouchables, slight chance. A little bit of chance, maybe. I do not buy a mid-60s Andy Garcia that he's able to take Statham. I'm like, something's going to happen. There's no way. There's just no way this fight's going to happen that would be at all believable. And that's when Andy Garcia is turned into paste. That he is blown up in CGI glory, CGI paste, because Stallone is in a helicopter and he blows him up. Just as they're getting ready to fight Statham versus Garcia, Andy Garcia is turned into CGI paste by Stallone's character, because Stallone had faked his death. which doesn't make no sense. Because, you see a body, early on in the film, when the plane is shot down, you see a body in the cockpit with the charred skeleton. So who was that? What kind of poor schmuck, was put into the pilot's seat where you see a charred body and his charred hand with the ring on it? Fuck. I don't buy and believe it. That Stallone faked his death. Again, who was in the pilot's seat then? Who was in that plane when Stallone bailed out? If he did fake his death, who was that? Who was that? Film ends, and I don't care. And again, I wanted to give away a bunch of that stuff because I feel good doing it. And I'm being a little bit over the top here, which I'd rather watch that movie. It's a better Stallone movie. But, for anybody that wonders, yeah, Stallone, he's in it for maybe 20 minutes, disappears, comes back in the last 2 minutes of the film. So Stallone does come back. He fakes his death in this movie. And again, I don't know who was in that plane. But, rest in peace to that poor man. Who was that man? Who was in that plane? That's the $1 million question. And again, it was never explained who was in that plane. And so, yeah, this movie sucks. This franchise, and they're talking about making the 5th one, Expendables 5. And this director, I didn't even mention the director here. The guy that directed Need for Speed, which I haven't seen, Hidden Strike, with John Cena and Jackie Chan, Act of Valor, and they're talking about making the 5th one. I hope to God they don't. If it's anything like this one, it's gonna be worse. It's like if I give Expendables 3 as 3 out of 10, this is like a 2 out of 10. This is worse than the 3rd film, and it sucks balls. This movie sucks taint. And that's it. But thank you for watching, and have a good day. If anybody would like to support the channel, I will leave a link down below in the info box to my Patreon, and there's a couple of options. You have general support, and if anybody wants to pledge to that, I will give you a shout out in my next video. And there's diehard members, and that is for crediting. If you want to be credited in videos such as movie reviews, movie-related topics, and other content on the channel, you have that as well. So again, there's a couple of options there. But thank you for watching, and have a good day.